Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Marie. Today, I thought we would dive just a little bit deeper into all of those lovely sacred truths that reside within each one of our chakras. And every one of our chakra has its own representation of a motto or a sacred truth. And it is within each one of those little kernels of information that I want to expand just a little bit on today to allow you to have that fuller, richer, little bit deeper understanding of those truths that reside there. So in our first chakra, which is again at the base of our spine, the truth there that resides is that all is one. And if you've taken the meditation course with me, you know that we use that symbolism of globe model of the earth with the latitude and longitude lines running through it. And I have you envision that each one of those lines that is running through you in the world is represented of an emotion. And that if you are feeling any one of those emotions, you're actually plugging into that energetic center of the whole. So if you're feeling anger, you're plugging into that whole universal energy of anger or fear or whatever it may be on any given moment of any given day. Because our emotions, they are the messengers that run the show until we learn to get a hold of them. And all is one is encompassing of that energy. So we start to realize that as we're feeling a negative energy, that we're feeding into that collective energy of the whole. That what I do to myself, I do to my brothers and sisters around me. That we are all one, that we all breathe together, that it doesn't matter if you are a human being or whether you are, a plant or an animal. We're all in this together. We all breathe together. We are all one. What we do to one, we do to the whole. So do to yourself as you would do unto others. And remember that at the end of the day, as you're discovering this world and behind your eyes and these truths that reside within your chakras, remember to be kind to yourself. I can't stress that enough. Be kind on this journey of exploring the world and behind your eyes. It's a beautiful journey, and it is a beautiful way to discover who you really are and where your power lies. So remember, all is one. All is one. In our second chakra, which is in the area of our sexual organs, our lower back, our hips, this is the power of our relationships, and this is the sacred truth to honor one another. The one thing that we are taught to from birth is to look out for me, what about me? But we aren't so much encouraged to honor one another. And that means honoring everyone. That means the good, bad, and the ugly. That means maybe looking at your partner today with a little bit different lens, because maybe the qualities that you don't like so much about your partner, maybe that's a reflection of what's going on in your own life, and you need to give a little grace to that. You need to look in a little bit clearer into yourself so that you can learn to honor one another for all of our differences. Nothing is greater than to learn value in every relationship, even the ones that drive you crazy. And that might be a familial one, because for a lot of people, dealing with energies in the tribe, whether that be a mother, a father, a sister, or a brother, those can be some very intense energies. But learning to honor each other for our own uniquenesses, for our own unique qualities that we bring into our relationships and our own life, that's value, and that's adding value to our lives when we learn to do that, because now that's giving something back to us rather than taking something away from us. In our third chakra, because our third chakra is all about the self, it is all about the empowerment of the self, learning how to do that, so that this truth that resides here is to honor yourself. And it's one of the most difficult things that you'll find in the many challenges of learning to figure out who you are, is learning to honor yourself, learning to know that, oh, I don't do well in that type of a situation, or, I don't do well around that person. And I need to learn to honor that about myself, at least until I'm stronger. Things change as we grow in our own strengths, as we grow in our own conscious awareness. Learning to honor ourselves becomes an easier task, because at one point in our lives, and I'm sure we've all felt this, where we've had to either do or live a life congruent to what someone else believes. But when we move up into our third chakra, where it's empowering the self, where we're learning to honor ourselves, we realize that by stepping into our own shoes, that's stepping into our own power of what we will and won't take energetically into our field, is feeding our spirit. And we realize that by honoring ourselves in that way, that we start feeling better about ourselves. And then lo and behold, maybe the things that disempowered you yesterday don't do that anymore. So allow yourself this time to learn about yourself, to cultivate that knowledge and those skill sets, and put those tools into your toolbox that can help you live that more rich and empowered life. Fourth chakra, all about the heart. And remember, our heart chakra is our center where all transformation takes place. It's like our alchemical soup pot. This is where you get bitter, or you get better, and you learn that love is divine power. You learn that love is truly the only power that matters in the universe. It's the only energy that matters. It's the one thing you can't get enough of, is love. No one ever says, oh, I've got too much love. Someone loves me too much. No one ever says that. We all want love. We all want to feel love. And love is very different in the fourth chakra than it is in the second chakra. There's a big difference in energy between these two. Love is that beautiful energy that you just want to fill yourself up with. Love is the energy that moves mountains. We as human beings are designed to express beauty. We're designed to express love and compassion and forgiveness and all of those beautiful qualities. Love is divine power. You can change a person in an absolute moment by offering them some love or compassion or forgiveness. And remember, let me interject this in here as well, that forgiveness isn't something that you do for someone else. It isn't something you do to let someone off the hook for hurting you. It's something that you do for yourself so that you don't have to suffer anymore. And that's where this lies, is right in the heart chakra energy, where love resides. The most true and authentic power that there is. Love. Our fifth chakra, moving up into the area of our neck. This is all about our choices, consequence, and our will. And the sacred truth that resides here is to surrender personal will to divine will. Well, what does that actually mean? What does that look like? Let me offer you this lens for which to view this through. For me, the first 40 years of my life, it felt like I was in a boat paddling upstream. And it seemed like a lot of work. It seemed like it was endlessly exhausting at times. And sometimes it seemed like I was never getting anywhere, that I was just paddling in one spot over and over and over again. The moment I realized that the boat that I was in could either travel upstream with all of my energy fighting to get there, or I could just sit in the boat and go with the flow downstream. And life got so much easier when I learned to do that. For me, that was symbolic, for me, of letting my will go to the will of the divine, to allow that greater cosmic energy that is guiding each one of us to actually take over my life and to move me in the directions where I needed to go. And as we practice our lenses of perception, we can ultimately learn that skill of letting our will go, where we have to be in control over every maneuver and everything in our life, where we just learn to take that step back and allow life to be. It's so much sweeter. It's so much easier. It's so much more beautiful, more fulfilling, more loving, more creative, more of everything good when you learn to just get in the boat and go. Start floating downstream. Start allowing the universe to guide you into your true path. Because the only thing that's holding you back is you. As we move into our 6th chakra, which is the power of our mind, this is where our brain and our mind exist side by side. This is the truth center where we speak only the truth. This is the place where you get within yourself, where you will not accept anything but the truth anymore, and you won't speak anything but the truth anymore. And this is a difficult skill to learn to put into practice, because we've all been taught at a very fundamental level to lie. We've been taught by the global tribe to lie. We've been taught by even our own families to lie, little white lies, to soften the truth, to maybe not give such a big impact. And we've been taught that lying is acceptable. So much to the fact that we allow our own governments, big pharma, to lie to us repeatedly. We've learned to allow that to be okay. But should it be? Should it be okay? Or should we be more conscious of not only speaking our own truth, but should we not be more conscious, and should we not be raising the bar a little higher of those around us to speak the truth? And when people don't speak the truth, should we not maybe be looking at maybe making a different choice? Because the reality is, when you get to this energy center in the 6th chakra, you realize that truth is the one thing that will set you absolutely free. Speaking your truth and demanding the truth in your life. It allows you to live in these higher vibrations. And when you start speaking the truth and nothing but the truth at all times, you don't have to keep any other narratives of any other story going. You don't have to look over your shoulder. Oh, who's going to catch me today? You don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to give energy to even thinking about that anymore, because you're only living in the truth. And then when you're only living in the truth, then you're only accepting the truth. And then anything but the truth becomes unacceptable in your life. And that allows you to live lighter and freer and clearer and happier. So much happier. And you cultivate more love, because truth and love, they're side by side, truth and love. And our seventh chakra, our sacred truth here that resides, is to live in present time. Because we realize when we move through these energy centers and we get up to the seventh chakra, we realize that all we have is the now. That's all we have is the now. And as I'm speaking to you, now is over with. It's already my history. So all we have is the now. And learning to live in present time stops us from living in the past. It stops us from staying bogged down by the traumas in our history. And it brings that energy back to now, to live in present time. Because you can't change any of your yesterdays. You can't. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't go back in time and change that. All you have is the now. So if you let things go from your history that used to wear on you, drain your energy, and you just live in present time, then that's all that matters. Because what someone did to you yesterday doesn't exist anymore. Because all you have is now. All you have is present time. Learning to live in the now. And remember that the use of your breath will always bring you back to present time. It'll always bring you back to the here and now. So remember to breathe. And if you've liked this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're interested in learning more about the world behind your eyes, head on over to my website. Link is in the description. Thank you again for joining me. Have a wonderful day.